Morning, Cheech. I read Luke 24:16. Our pastor covered it church this last Sunday, and it reminded me of some wisdom your grandma gave me. Your grandma, some context, I had recently left the church. Yeah, your old man didn't go to church for a little while. And she told me the first piece of wisdom was, go to church. Simple enough. And then the second one was always play an instrument. The second one's kind of easy. I'll explain that to you. You're going to be learning an instrument. Then the first one. Luke 24:16 made me think of it. The verse talks about Jesus is right there amongst some of his former followers, and they don't recognize him. Jesus had just been raised from the dead. And what goes on in that verse is that it says that their eyes were kept shut from recognizing there's a barrier. There's some, you can debate on what exactly that barrier is, but they just didn't recognize Jesus. They, knew of a prophecy of him being raised from the dead, and Jesus was right there, but they didn't recognize him. And I think about just the situation they were in. They were talking about Scripture. They were talking about that prophecy right there with Jesus, and Jesus preached to them. They invited Jesus into their home. They broke bread with Jesus, and then their eyes were opened. Their eyes were opened when they broke bread with Jesus. Now, I think that can be discussed even further in a lot of ways, but that's where I think of your grandma's wisdom. Go to church. There are things in Scripture that I realize that, I know about it, but I don't believe it. And sometimes I know it, sometimes I don't. But that's one of the important things of going to church, engaging with it, being willing to throw yourself into something that is much larger than yourself, and looking for Jesus. Put yourself in that environment always. Jesus will find you. And at worst, if you want to find people that love and care about you, church is a good place to find that. I love you so much, Chi-Chi. You haven't been born yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.